Today we're going to be talking about the narcissist and gift giving. The narcissist, he doesn't actually like giving in the same way that normal people do. He likes gift giving in the way that he can manipulate and control people through gift giving. Firstly, if he gets adoration and attention from the individual who he's giving the gift to, and that individual is somebody that he is seeking narcissistic supply from. In other words, maybe somebody that is he wants, he believes is smart enough, or one of his kids, or he gets a little high out of that. He's not giving the gift to the child for the child's feeling of goodness inside. And when I say he for the narcissist, it could be she, it can be anybody. So anyway, but also you will get compulsive narcissistic gift givers. And they actually they believe themselves to be above everyone else, so they look down on everyone and those that they give to in a condescending way. They get pleasure out of that, believing that they're better than, looking down on other people with pity, that type of thing. So that gives them some pleasure as well. It's also the control of people. When the narcissist has money, he has, and there are others around him that are dependent on him, he gets a lot of pleasure out of the control that money gives him, and he uses that in the most excruciating and painful ways that eventually absolutely destroy those around him, even though they cannot see the wood for the trees, and they are just the psychological nature of it makes them remain almost dependent on the narcissist. The narcissist will also enjoy gift giving in the way that if he's giving gifts to certain individuals, but he has an audience who can say, wow, what a wonderful, looking up to him, attention and adoration, which is what the narcissist is all about. He's an addict, and remember, he's an addict that doesn't, his drug of choice is not physical. It's adoration and attention. That what makes it weird is it's something that's non-physical. It's adoration, attention, being above everyone else. Remember that if you've watched some of my other videos, I think I might have said it before, that the only way that he can sort of keep his self-esteem high is from the adoration and attention that he gets from others. So he's actually he's projecting something out, they are projecting something back, and he's actually gleaming his self-esteem from that image, that projection back, which is quite weird. It's but he can't, like normal people, get a normal self-esteem within yourself, knowing that you're good enough and that everything. That's why he has to work so hard, is because that's the only way that he can keep his self-esteem at a reasonable level, because remember, the personality is totally warped from early childhood, and it just doesn't function like a normal personality. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. And there's also another type of behavior that he might also use, and this is often, sometimes you'll find this in people pleasers as well, which can also be almost pathological, where it's almost self-flagellation, where he will insist on giving gifts and that, but it's almost for the pleasure of being able to say that, look, no one recognizes me for what I am. I give so much and no one else gives anything back. In other words, he's much better again than other people. People pleasers also, they go out of their way, they give what they aren't able to give, and then they're angry at people outside of themselves for the things that they've given. And I know that all of us have done that, and maybe we all do it to a certain extent, but it's on a continuum. So don't just think that because someone is a people pleaser, that's, you know, people kind of think that that's a wonderful trait to have. No, it's not. It's almost selfish in a way, but it's kind of a it's also really messed up. So, you know, we must really look at those types of things and you know, be careful with them. The other let me just see here. The other thing is that the narcissist will often provide luxury in life and gifts and that instead of commitment, because the narcissist cannot be very intimate with someone, so instead he pushes all the gifts in the way and he blinds people to what is really going on, and he stops people from moving on and getting healthier relationships in their life. He's also at the same time most probably undermining their self-esteem and making them feel that they another part of the narcissistic abuse is making that other person feel like they cannot live without him. So he will use gifts in that way as well. Just remember that not all gifts are worth the same, even though they are maybe the same in value. A lot of his gifts will have a lot of strings attached to them, which in you know, looking back on them, they were actually not gifts at all. They were gifts of pain and suffering. And so be very careful about what you accept from people in your life that are narcissistic or you suspect might be. Also, just look at what the strings that might be attached to that kind of thing. Another thing is that, and this I'll tell you from my own experience, even though the narcissist that was in my life was, a lot of his abuse was financial abuse, where he acted like he was, you know, the most sort of person who was the best with money and very conscientious in that. He actually is not conscientious at all. In fact, even though they might be frugal and everything else, they don't care about money and looking after money, and that the only time they do that is for appearance, you know, for the false self of having that image of being that person that is so responsible. So they do not determine whether to give out money or gifts, whether they have it or they don't have it. The only thing that they use money for is manipulation and getting their drug of choice, which is narcissistic supply. So sometimes they won't have the money and they will give the gifts, but there's reasons why they do that type of thing. So money allows them to abuse, but money is not, even though they will act like it's the be-all and end-all of their life, it's not. In fact, there's a type of narcissist you get who's going to be very frugal, have saved all their lives, drive around in really old cars and raggedy clothes, and have tons and tons of money in the bank. I mean, that's the real miser, Scrooge type, which is, yes, is definitely a narcissist. And they won't always flaunt it in their clothing and everything, as is very much told us through the media. It depends on what their strategy is. There's always a strategy around it, but it's not to do actually with money. It's to do with what they need. Everything in their life is about their drug of choice, which is narcissistic supply. And unfortunately, narcissistic supply is only gained from manipulating people. So even objects and things do not mean a lot to them. It's only what those things can bring for them. And then finally, I want to talk about something that I observed as well, which is when you are actually buying the narcissist a gift. I found this with myself. I would kind of, on occasion, I decided to discuss with the narcissist, because I always seem to get it wrong. No matter what I bought him in this, when I'm talking about my narcissist, but this can be a woman, it can be anybody. And, you know, I tried so hard, and I really took a lot of effort to, you know, find out what would be of value in his life. And he seemed to always be kind of disappointed. So then I even started asking him what he would like, and he was not very forthcoming with telling me what he would like. He would hum and haw about everything, and then he might one time say, yes, he would like this. And then what I realize now is I would get excited, because I would think, wow, I'm going to manage to give him a good gift. But he didn't want me to feel excited or feel happy that I had bought him a gift that he really wanted. So the next time we spoke about it, or later on, he would say, you know, actually, no, I don't think that's a good idea. So, you know, it would get to finally I'd have to buy something. And then whatever it was, I mean, he wouldn't cause a big scene about it, but it was never, ever quite right. And that was because he didn't want me to experience the feeling of the adulation of being able to get a present right for him, the joy of giving him a present that he really wanted, and therefore me actually succeeding in that particular pursuit. So I just thought that was very interesting, and really quite funny, if it wasn't so sad, should we say. Anyway, I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you like my videos, I have plenty more, and I'm going to be uploading more as well. You can subscribe to me. It's Daylight Out of Darkness, and that way you can see on my channel all the rest of my videos. And you'll also most probably get a message when I upload new ones. Thank you for everyone's support, and also to tell you that I have a little shop front now. I'm going to be adding new stuff to it. So if you would like to go and have a look at that, you will also find the link in the description below this video. Thank you for all your support again, and I hope that you will comment and tell me about some of the other ways that narcissists you've known have used money, and your experiences. Thank you. Bye.